There's two main workflows that we use with satellite. One is taking a feed over a KU satellite with a book a transponder, and you get a truck out there, and this is sort of the traditional broadcast workflow.
So this is where you have a truck, it comes with a dish that folds up and starts beaming to the sky.
And, transponder time is something like probably $600 an hour for a slot on a transponder that will get you roughly like 17 megabits up.
And so that's basically buying a time slice on the satellite when you say that,
exactly.
Right? Okay.
And then you have to downlink that to a facility, and there's many different facilities. We have gear placed at one of these downlink facilities, so we just call up or send an email to traffic control, tell them the satellite coordinates and the time, they book it, and then the signal magically appears in my encoder the day of the event. And this is a good workflow because if the budget allows, you have a really reserved connection, and you can get these pretty much anywhere in the world. There is global satellite coverage.
So you basically bought the bandwidth. You don't have to worry about any congestion, how many other cellular users in the area, all those issues go away.
That's right. And this is sort of borrowing from the traditional broadcast infrastructure and twisting it to use it for our live streaming purposes. There is a more modern approach, and we actually started using this before we started doing KU stuff. It's just how that worked out. And this is using data satellite. So there are companies like Viasat that run the Exceed broadband service, and some of you may know this from residential broadband. If you live out in the boonies, you can still get broadband internet. You set up this little 90-centimeter dish, looks like a DirecTV dish, and you get about, 12 to 18 megabits down and 5 to 8 up. So definitely enough to do an HD stream. Without really getting into like their business model, I'll just talk about the workflow. So we can put an IP encoder on site, set up this little dish, takes about 10 minutes to point it if you've practiced with it, and you can get upstream bandwidth for a live stream practically anywhere. This is not reserved. It's not like a KU thing. The traffic will be prioritized because of their service packaging, but it is a shared medium. But they do have a good bit of capacity, and they launched a second satellite, which will be up and operational, I think, in the spring. So there's considerable amount of this satellite IP available, and it's describing the spectrum that the satellite uses. It's Ka band as opposed to Ku. And that's kind of neat because it's a straight IP workflow. Once you go into an encoder, it never touches baseband video again.